Okay, back here on the van, figuring out that fuel pump. Thanks for your info, guys. I really appreciate it. I did all the testing at the relay up here up front, which is in the fuse box here. And the relay for the fuel pump's right there. And I pulled the relay out and I had a good ground on that pin there. And then if you look at the schematic on the relay, I think, I forget now, but 87 is load bearing power, 30 is your switched power, and 87 gets switched anyways. So I had a good ground, I had a good signal, and I had good power, and I had nothing at the pump. So that tells me there's wiring going on. So I followed the wiring back. I had to pull the fuel tank out again, which was fun, to get to this harness, this wiring harness here. This is the pump harness. Now I used my old pump to figure out which wires go where, because you have the sending unit wires and you have the pump wires. This is your power wire here, this tan looking wire, and then the black is the ground. So I followed the tan up forward. You can see I kind of pulled the harness down. I didn't see any damage. And then I had this memory of when I was working on the tail lights and the battery box in the back. I remember seeing a ground that was broken, and I'm pretty sure I broke it when I was working on this stuff. I don't know if you can see it. It would be, let me see if I can show you. Right here in this dark space. So this ground right here was broke. Well, this is a black wire that goes up into the front of that harness. And so when I followed the black wire from the fuel pump, it went towards the back of the van. And so I fixed this ground back here, put a new clip on it, sanded that, bolted it back into the frame, and then I tested it, and I still had no power at the fuel pump. And I thought, well, let me swap out the relays and just try it. So I came back up front, I pulled the headlight relay, and I put that into the fuel pump, and then it worked. I think what happened is that ground was broke, and I think it somehow, by not having a ground, it burned up the relay that I had put in there, because I had actually swapped the relay already to try it. And so this relay is no good, and I bet you my spare, this is a spare relay that comes in the van, that's the one that was in the fuel pump. I would assume that's bad too. But anyways, I put the headlight relay in there, which is the same damn thing. And now, if you look at the multimeter, let me try and do this here. This is tricky to do because I gotta do the key. There you go. So now I have power to the fuel pump. So the whole time, it was a ground that I broke when I was messing with the taillights. So I created my own problem that cost me a couple weeks of work and a few $100s. So check your grounds.